Welcome at a new Workplace Ninjas podcast recording. And again, as the last time we were at Hollywood in Almkerk, Kenneth explained it. We're still there. We're doing another recording with another guest on the table.
Yay.
Peter is also back. So Joost turned away. So we are with the four, Kenneth, Ronnie and Peter again. And we are talking about, Peter?
I think our year in the community and in IT pros,
and see what's next for coming year. If we look back, Kenneth, what have you done in this year?
Well, I think to summarize that the best thing that happened to us is that we are going to have in-person meetings again. The whole COVID thing where we were actually forced to do things virtually actually turned out quite nice this year, because this is actually the third in-person meeting that we are hosting.
Yeah.
And of course we are planning to do even more next year, hopefully. But I think for me personally, that's the best thing that happened to us this year.
Absolutely. I think, Ronnie, in the beginning of this year, we are still virtual and having recordings, webcasts that we have recorded with several people. What is the big difference to be here with the four of us doing this recording instead of virtual?
Well, it's always good to be facing people in person, whether it's in the community, peers, meeting new people, exchanging thoughts, knowledge, perspectives, and having good conversations. I think that's the human part actually that was missing, and that's makes these kind of community events always a success. So that's the biggest takeaway, I would say.
Yeah, and Peter, this year the four of us actually were in Luzern at the Workplace Ninja Summit, where we are helping co-organizing the summit, so to say. What about that?
Yeah, that was an awesome event, and we are planning the next event starting as the 1st of January, or the 2nd maybe. We have the date, we have the location, we have the number of rooms, and now we need to set up the call for speakers, the sponsorships, all the shabam.
And still room for some recording possibilities?
Yeah, definitely. So also live podcasts next year.
Yeah, we will do a recording there as well, and see what can happen. So stay tuned for that. Are there any things to mention on this year?
I think what Kenneth said is completely true. In 2021, we had one in-person event, also here at the Hollywood, and last year we were able to do 3 in the first half of the year, all virtual. Next year we have 7 in-person events, and still virtual for the people who can't join. To me it was almost back to normal. Very good.
And that is what we have done in the community. We have done also work. In the past year, work related, was it hard, and is it back to normal again, Kenneth?
Yeah, well, work only became more and more when COVID started, and it didn't stop, to be honest. So in the line of work that I'm doing, it's actually quite hectic. But what we did find out during the pandemic is actually that the world was flat, and that customers can come from anywhere in the world nowadays.
Yeah. And Ronnie, you have changed jobs in the past. Was it this year or the year before?
No, it's almost a year and a half ago. Almost, we're heading to the 2 years already. Yeah.
So that's good. But was that impacted in the last year? And did you see things changing, also related to community work there?
I think technology enabled us to continue exchanging knowledge and exchanging experiences in a different way. So we remained connected, although the world was flat, as Kenneth mentioned. We still were able to reach out to each other and make sure the job getting done.
Yeah.
And of course, the human touch that was missing when it comes to community. But if you see the MVP Summit, for example, they went virtually. We are seeing Ignite, for example, is going hybrid. So it's not really going back to that normal where a lot of people are traveling over the world and coming together and having fun in the good sense, and then it's networking, etc. That part is a bit harder. It's a bit difficult. But from the other side, it's way much easier to reach out to someone. If you really want to speak to someone or reaching out to someone, you're opening Teams, you know his alias, and you are able to connect within a few clicks. So then the relationship might be a bit different, but you can definitely reach out, connect, and later on when you are meeting each other in person, then it's actually, if you know each other already for a couple of years. So it was challenging, but I believe it's also opened a lot of potential and new opportunities, and I like that approach.
If we see the MVP Summit, Ignite, hybrid or virtual, that enables also people from countries that they aren't able to fly about cost and that sort of, they can join also. So make that probably for us also to make the Workplace Ninjas meetings, the local meetups that we have. Should we consider that we have that as a hybrid event? We also discussed that a little bit earlier, but is that to enable people to join and to share knowledge on something different than we are used to? Yeah,
before I go into that, I'm completely missing the in-person events when it comes to MVP Summit, Ignite, because everything is organized in the Pacific time zone.
Yeah.
So you have to work.
Absolutely.
If you go there, then you can purely focus on attending those sessions and learning and indeed get in touch with the people. But when staying here at home, then the work-life balance is completely gone, because you have work days from 16 hours because you want to attend those sessions. Of course, you can watch the recordings, but that's also evening or weekend.
Last week I had an A-list where we attend. That was from 5 until 2 in the night. Yeah. And then it was in the evening, and then someone at Australia, a New Zealand, was active. It's 6 o'clock in the morning. Give me breakfast. That was what he says. Yeah. So for me, it's 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock in the evening. And I think that is the biggest challenge for virtual or hybrid events. Yeah.
But I think to keep it local, I think we have our events are easily approachable. People can join easily. Of course, if they miss out or they can't join, it can be a challenge. But on the other hand, if we would organize something in a hybrid, then I think our scope is too small and people will stay at home, and then we arrange a sponsor for food and a location, and then 5 people will show up, and then we have to throw away the food. And
there are things to consider, but please know that we are thinking about
definitely
improving what we can do with our meetup, that we have local, and probably share things afterwards.
Well, in my opinion, doing some experimenting and see what works and doesn't work could be a thing to maybe find something where we can find an optimum for hosting our events.
Yeah. And if we look at the next year, what are the plans, Kenneth?
Well, the plans is to host regular meetings. So Peter has the dates in front of him. So we already planned those meetings. But I think besides that, we're going to do a lot of community work besides that. And
I think
start there.
We have the local meetups where we have some presentations of one or two people. But there is one thing that I want to highlight. There is a Saturday, I think, Peter.
Yeah, we had in the past we had a WMAC Saturday before we rebranded to the Workplace Ninjas, and that was always a Saturday where we were hands-on, just with a small group sharing experience, testing scenarios, or depending on the subject, of course. But they were always fun. A complete Saturday.
Yeah.
People were really engaged, and in April we were planning to have a Saturday again. At least one of next year, maybe two, depending on the success, of course. But,
and the topics that we cover are identity, workplace, and security. That are the thoughts that we have about that. Huh?
Indeed, yeah. And on the other hand, it could be anything, as long as it's interesting for our audience.
Exactly.
Yeah. So if you are in the Netherlands in April, watch out the dates that we are communicating to our meetup page. Please join if you want to and if you'll be there. Ronnie, do we have some thoughts about recordings that we are planning to do?
Certainly, yeah. We definitely continue our journey when it comes to recordings about certain topics, as well as inviting some guest speakers. So that's definitely we continue with next year.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if we are keeping the pace every month. We are trying to keep good content, good quality, so that quality prefers over quantity. But yeah, interesting topics like how you're securing APIs, for example. What about IoT? But also expanding security platform of Microsoft, like new solutions like Defender for threat intelligence or vulnerability management. There are so many topics, and definitely also reach out to our community. If you have certain topics you're really, really interested in, and you like, we are going to cover that with the guest speakers, product team, or whatsoever. Please feel free to reach out and give us a nudge through socials or by our email addresses, and let us know what the topics are you're looking for or you're most interested in.
Absolutely, totally agree with that. And we are also extending the gear that we have. So we have now our own camera. So every recording will be recorded, so we can publish it on YouTube and also on only audio on our podcast media. So I think,
and of course, before in-person events like this, we have the chit-chat
absolutely
recordings. Yeah. Besides the extended versions with one specific topic and a speaker. So.
Yeah, and what we will do at every local meetup, we will do one or two recordings. So based on the cadence of the local meetup, there will also be a recording available afterwards. Are there anything that we missed for next year?
We probably did, but yeah.
Yeah.
So, what's interesting to see here, I look around us, people are actually coming in one by one. The room is filling with our audience. And I like this kind of interaction where we are available online, sort of, but also in person. So, really looking forward to this upcoming meetup.
Yeah, and let's see if we can improve. We have some slots over on my audio gear to see if we can extend, to see if we can enable the audience to interact with us in that part of
would be good
conversations.
Indeed, yeah.
So thank you for this quick wrap-up of the year and a little bit look forward. Let's see what the next year will bring. So thank you to be on the table for this time. And you as a listener, I will thank you for listening to this or viewing this webcast. And hopefully we see each other next year. And then we will continue the journey within the Workplace Ninjas.
Yeah. See you next year.
Bye-bye.